When you think of nuns, images of devotion, prayer, and a life of service likely come to mind. But behind the serene facade of religious life lies a world of complexity, struggle, and sometimes shocking revelations. Over centuries, nuns have taken vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience. Yet history is filled with stories that reveal their lives were far from simple. From forbidden love to political entanglements and scandals that rocked the church, the secret lives of nuns are a fascinating window into humanity's enduring struggle between devotion and desire. Let's take a deep dive into the stories, controversies, and mysteries surrounding these women who dedicated their lives to faith, but often found themselves drawn into the complexities of the world they renounced. The forbidden love of Sister Benedetta Carlini. One of the most infamous cases in the history of nuns involves Sister Benedetta Carlini, an abbess of the Theatine nuns in 17th century Italy. Benedetta was a charismatic figure who claimed to receive divine visions and stigmata, which elevated her status in the convent and the wider religious community. However, an investigation into her leadership revealed shocking details. Benedetta was accused of having a romantic and physical relationship with another nun, Sister Bartolomea. During the inquiry, Sister Bartolomea testified about their secret relationship, describing it as something Sister Benedetta claimed was sanctioned by celestial visions. The church ultimately declared Benedetta a fraud and removed her from her position. The story of Sister Benedetta isn't just a tale of forbidden love. It's a reminder of how even those who dedicate their lives to faith can grapple with deeply human desires. The scandal of the Convent of San Placido. In the early 17th century, the Convent of San Placido in Seville, Spain, became embroiled in a scandal that shook the Catholic Church. The convent's prioress, Sister Teresa de Jesus, along with several other nuns, was accused of engaging in demonic possession and illicit activities. An investigation revealed that Sister Teresa and other nuns had been influenced by a charismatic priest, Father Juan de Manosca, who claimed to have divine powers. Reports emerged of secret rituals, including sexual activities disguised as spiritual practices. The church acted swiftly, imprisoning the implicated nuns and priests, but the scandal left a lasting stain on the convent's reputation. This story highlights how the enclosed walls of a convent could sometimes become the breeding ground for manipulation and abuse, especially when charismatic figures wielded unchecked power. The tale of Maria Monk. The story of Maria Monk is one of the most controversial and debated accounts in the history of nuns. In the 19th century, Maria Monk published a book titled Awful Disclosures of the Hotel du Nunnery. In it, she alleged horrifying abuse and misconduct within a Montreal convent. Maria claimed that nuns were forced into sexual servitude by priests, and that those who resisted were punished or even killed. However, investigations later cast doubt on her claims. Critics argued that Maria's story was fabricated, possibly as part of an anti-Catholic propaganda effort. While the truth remains murky, her account stirred widespread outrage and sparked debates about the treatment of women in religious institutions. Maria Monk's story, whether true or not, reveals how nuns were often caught in the crossfire of broader societal conflicts, including anti-Catholic sentiment in Protestant-majority regions. The secret motherhood of Sister Abaya case. One of the most chilling modern scandals involving nuns is the case of Sister Abaya from Kerala, India. In 1992, Sister Abaya, a Catholic nun, was found dead in a well at her convent. Initially dismissed as a suicide, her death became the subject of intense scrutiny after evidence suggested foul play. After decades of investigations, it was revealed that Sister Abaya had witnessed inappropriate relations between two priests and a nun. Fearing exposure, the guilty parties reportedly murdered her to silence her. The case exposed deep corruption within the church hierarchy in India and highlighted the risks faced by nuns who dared to challenge powerful authorities. This tragic story is a stark reminder of how nuns, despite their religious commitments, are not immune to the dangers of power dynamics and institutional cover-ups. The defiant nuns of Port Royal. The Port Royal Abbey in France became the center of religious and political controversy in the 17th century. The nuns at Port Royal were followers of Jansenism, a theological movement that emphasized predestination and a strict moral code, which clashed with the official doctrines of the Catholic Church. Despite intense pressure from the Church to renounce their beliefs, the nuns of Port Royal refused to conform. Their defiance led to the closure of the abbey and the excommunication of its members. The story of the Port Royal nuns is a testament to their courage and commitment to their convictions, even in the face of persecution. While this scandal didn't involve personal misconduct, it highlights how nuns could become embroiled in theological and political battles that extended far beyond the walls of their convents. The double life of Sister Charlotte Wells. Another shocking story comes from the mid-20th century, involving Sister Charlotte Wells, a former nun in the United States. Sister Charlotte claimed she had been subjected to horrific abuse during her time in a convent. In her widely circulated testimony, she alleged that some convents operated like prisons, where nuns were abused by priests and forced to remain silent under the threat of severe punishment. Her testimony caused an uproar, but much like Maria Monk's story, its authenticity has been questioned. Critics argue that Sister Charlotte's claims may have been exaggerated or influenced by anti-Catholic activists. Regardless, her story brought attention to the darker aspects of religious life and sparked calls for greater transparency and reform within the Church. The silent struggles of nuns today. While historical scandals often grab headlines, the challenges faced by modern nuns are equally compelling. In many parts of the world, nuns work tirelessly in education, healthcare, and social justice, often in difficult and dangerous conditions. However, reports of abuse, exploitation, and neglect persist. In 2018, the Vatican acknowledged for the first time that some nuns had been sexually abused by priests and bishops. Pope Francis called for greater protections for nuns and recognized the need for systemic change. Many nuns have also spoken out about the challenges of living within rigid hierarchical systems that often marginalize women's voices. These stories reveal a complex reality where faith and service coexist with struggles for justice and equality. The courageous voices of reform. Amid these scandals and challenges, many nuns have emerged as powerful voices for change. Figures like Sister Simone Campbell, an American nun and social activist, have gained international recognition for their advocacy on issues like poverty, healthcare, and immigration reform. In India, Sister Jesam, a former nun, wrote an explosive memoir detailing her experiences of abuse and hypocrisy within her convent. Her book, Amen, the autobiography of a nun, became a bestseller and sparked widespread debate about the treatment of women in religious institutions. These reformers show that while the secret lives of nuns often reveal shocking truths, they also highlight stories of resilience, courage, and a commitment to justice. The lives of nuns are far more complex than the serene and pious image often portrayed. From historical scandals like Sister Benedetta's forbidden love to modern tragedies like the case of Sister Apaya, these stories reveal a world where devotion meets desire, faith clashes with power, and human struggles persist behind the veil of religious life. But amidst the controversies and challenges, nuns have also been powerful agents of change, advocating for the marginalized and pushing for reform within the Church. Their stories remind us of the enduring complexities of faith, humanity, and the quest for justice. If you found these revelations about the secret lives of nuns fascinating, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest videos. Let us know in the comments what surprised you the most.